get this thing straight first. Pause. That didn't that didn't sound great. Yeah, I meant the camera. Let me make sure the camera's straight. Um, I don't know how long I'm gonna do this. Depending on how much feedback I get. With the chat room, all that good stuff. Today, I am not going to roast trolls. I will just boot them out. I don't feel like it. I don't. I don't feel like roasting trolls unless I'm really inspired to do so. But I don't think this will be long. Again, pause. I don't think this live stream will be long. Uh, we'll see. But I don't try to extend it hours and hours on end just to get the watch hours. If there's like really no one participating, that seems kind of goofy to me. Now, there's been times where I have gone for hours and hours and hours, but that was because I was actually having conversations with folks in the chat room. So that's different. Um, Maybe also because I do it earlier now and I don't get the same audience, but that's fine because usually the only audience that was available like late at night were pretty much just trolls and people who had sleep disorders. So if I don't attract that crowd, that's fine. You know. Um, but curious how this plays out. This is Ask Me Anything format. I was gonna do a topic today, but I think I'm gonna do that later this week, towards the weekend, either tomorrow or Friday or Saturday. And I should have Mrs. Contrarian returning as well. Um, but yeah, well, we'll see. But yeah, this is Ask Me Anything. I call it the thawing out because here on the East Coast, it's been warmer, so all this ice and snow is finally going away, which is good. So, what's up with everyone in the chat room? If you don't mind, say hello. Let me know you're in the chat room. Let me know you're here. If you got questions, ask me questions. Um, they can be questions of any sort, as long as they're friendly, appropriate type questions, family friendly. Um, and I know a little bit about a little bit when it comes to things like science, philosophy, psychology, history, but not a lot about things like sports or gaming. So if it's something about sports or gaming, I can't help you there. Uh, Leon Levy says, Junior says, hi, what's up? Put on my reading glasses, guys. I know I get flack. People say I either get called Urkel or they say, "Oh, your glasses are um, whatever." That's because I have oil on my face, so I guess it makes the glasses look smudged. But either way, I don't care. But I am gonna wipe them off. But they stay getting smudged because of just the oils on my face, I guess. But yeah, put these on. All right. Hold on a second, guys. Okay. Wait, I am going to listen to something. And like I said, people, if you're in the chat room, say hello. You can ask me questions. This is my Ask Me Anything stream where people can ask me random questions and I answer them to the best of my ability. That is, um, am I a femboy? Again, I said family friendly questions, not little retarded faggot ass questions like yours. So you can hit the bricks. What I think about Bad Bunny? I don't think about Bad Bunny. I've never listened to any of his songs. Um, I don't speak Spanish, so I've never listened to his songs. I don't care. The only time I've ever heard him was on a Cardi B song. So, and I don't even listen to Cardi B like that. But that was like one of her few songs I actually like. Hold up. I want to listen to something here. Uh, where's my mouse? Oh, right here. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Did I see the Super Bowl? No, I didn't. I'm not a I'm not a sports fan, especially not football fan. So I didn't watch it. Didn't watch the halftime show. Didn't watch the commercials. Um, even if I was a Super Bowl fan, I wouldn't have watched the halftime show. I don't like Bad Bunny. I don't want to watch some guy who is a. I don't want to see some Puerto Rican transvestite perform for the halftime show who shits on America, but he's being put in a position to perform for the most American audience of them all, which is the Super Bowl, which is mostly middle America. Um, and he can't even speak fucking English. Like I'm not so I have no thoughts on him. I think he's other than I wouldn't listen to his music. I don't like again. I don't speak Spanish, so I don't fuck with his music. Now, there's some Spanish music that I do listen to, like reggaeton. I like reggaeton, but that's because I like Caribbean style like music, like reggae and soca and dancehall. And reggaeton fits into like that whole niche with like reggaeton. I mean, with like dancehall and soca. But I don't. I just don't. I don't fuck with him. He's a transvestite. Like I don't want to like. I don't want to hear any guys sitting there giving his political opinions about our government who puts on dresses. So that's how I feel about it. Do I play any video games? LeBron has watched the Sixers. No, I haven't played video games in a long time. I do plan on buying the mini NES, the mini classic NES to put on my TV and play like my old favorite games from when I was a little kid, the classic Nintendo entertainment system. But I haven't really played video games in a long time. Like the NES was my last video game console, and then I would just play other people's video games because I was never convinced to buy another one. So I never bought Super Nintendo or N64 or the GameCube or Sega Genesis or Neo Geo or Sega Dreamcast or um, Sega CD, um, TurboGrafx 16. Um, People probably don't even remember Neo Geo and TurboGrafx 16, or of course, the Sony PlayStations, all that stuff. Like I said, I've played them. I've played my friends' consoles, but I haven't had any myself since Classic NES, and since leaving college, I haven't played video games at all. I've watched a few friends play theirs, but that's about it. Um, it just seems like an empty endeavor. Let me see some of these. So some troll says, "Hey, you look bad. I'm more skinny and handsome." Oh, okay, good for you. I don't care. What hobbies do I have? Um, Plenty. I read. I work out. I'm an athlete. People who watch sports all the time tend to be fat and out of shape. I'd rather be an athlete than watch athletes. So I get up 4 o'clock in the morning and do my routine for like 2 hours before I start work. And then in the evening, at least a few times a week, I hit the gym as well, on top of my morning routine that I do literally every morning. Um, and I like to watch, things like anime, collect vintage stuff from the 80s, like toys and collectibles, read, comic books, as well as regular books, and all sorts of stuff like that. Um, so let me take these off. I don't know why I'm still have these on. I was listening to a message. Hmm. What other hobbies? Oh, and I like traveling. So, what sports do I play? I do martial arts, kickboxing, and I'm a distance runner. I don't do team sports. Like, no, I don't. I'm a person that don't. As a typical Gen X, I don't like depending on other people. So I do stuff that I can do by myself. So I'm a distance runner, do martial arts and kickboxing. That's pretty much it. So not that I'm not averse to playing team sports. Like I again, I used to, but with once you grow up and all your friends, have their own families, their own livelihoods, uh, kind of hard to to say, hey, let's all meet up and go play go play ball or something. I haven't played basketball with them in like 23, 24 years. So yeah. And played football even that's even been a longer time than that. So and then of course I'll do this live stream thing, and I'm a part-time martial arts coach. Um, and I usually do that for free. So if for the right people, if I don't know you, then I'm gonna charge you. But if there's someone I know, I'll usually do it for free. But anyway, um, let me see something. Mm-mm. Sorry, I'm responding to messages outside of this. Also, yeah, I'm partial to like MMA, Muay Thai, stuff like that. And I've considered competing. I was supposed to like 3 years ago, and I was like, I was at cross purposes with the people who were supposed to be connecting me with folks because they thought I wanted to go pro. I'm like, I don't want to go pro MMA. Like, I was like, I just wanted to get in contact with people in the industry because I was sold on the claim that these guys knew insiders in the entertainment industry. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to like, train and maybe have a fight or two just to show them I have the legit skills. And then they could connect me, you know, with the folks that I could actually like appear in maybe some movies or some TV shows or do some stunts or something. But that went awry because they were fugazi. Like I'm not gonna say they were just capping, as you guys like to say, but it didn't really go the way I wanted. This, then we had this little round robin sparring session I did with them, and it was just goofy. It was like a waste of time. But yeah, so I'm also partial to MMA, Muay Thai. Like I almost, uh, I've been, told, once I come back to Thailand, I could compete. So but that was years ago. I don't know. I mean, they will still let people my age compete, but it'll probably be with someone else, around my same age as well, so I won't get hurt. Or if it's someone younger, they'll probably take it easy on me, which I will appreciate. And I will probably will be using some sort of performance enhancing substance because a lot of them use performance enhancing substances in Thailand. Like like you can find it like openly when you go to one of the gyms, like all the different types of um, PEDs out there that they have for, you know, whether it's like HDH or TRT or some sort of anabolic steroid or combination of stuff or whatever. Like they got a lot of that stuff out there. So I'm probably gonna leave because I actually got something I need to do. Like I said, if the chat room was on and popping, then I would just blow that off. But I don't know. Now, didn't I say I wasn't gonna roast any trolls, and I did. Well, that wasn't really a roast the guy I did earlier. I just kind of told him about himself, so I don't think that counts. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't think that counts. Like he was just asking some weird stuff. So, and like I said, I don't mind answering questions, but as long as it's like family friendly questions. When I say family friendly questions, like something you would ask around family, or would be something you could watch with your family on TV, right? So, um, but um, some of you kind of mums right now, so I might have to pick this up later. It's actually gone longer than what I expected. But sorry about that, guys. I realized I had something to do, so we'll have to reconvene later. Hey, Agatha, I'm actually about to bounce. Um, I was gonna stay earlier, but I gotta make a call and do some stuff. And since there isn't a lot of people, really popping the chat room right now, I don't want to wait an hour to do so until I get tired. So I'm gonna do that now. Yes, 9:13. So yeah, getting close to that time for me to dip. Um, all right, guys. See you later. Um, talk to you later, Agatha. I'm available on IG if you want to reach out to me too. All right. See you guys later.